here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 1d4 plus 1.
Aren't you
Adventure
always?
Time fun game, but not Adventure Time from Cartoon Network. Dab, dab, dab.
Dab, dab, dab.
So many dabs.
Last time on 1d4 plus 1, all of you helping to hold the city of Delaste during a siege from the forces of Dinar managed to hold off the forces fairly well using a pretty cunning action attacking the eastern approaching forces. However, towards the end of the attack, Commander Othis crashed into the tower, and you all stood valiantly and watched as Othis killed the Faceless King. And then there were like just so many squirrels on the roof.
Is the Roomba pushing a bone around on the wooden floor?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's such a good Halloween party trick.
Hey, Roomba!
Next year,
Push his bone around.
I'm gonna tie a bunch of like dried chicken bones to it.
Oh my goodness. Perfect.
And as that happened, Bane himself stepped through the portal into the Shadowfell and seemingly killed all of you. In the final moments, Imru Kashan was able to teleport your bodies out and take you to a secret location, which is where they now sit.
Our bodies sit there.
Frail.
Does a 120-year-old man have more strength than you?
Yes.
120? Well, fuck you, I'm 137.
Actually,
That was closer than
I'm fairly constituted. I just can't lift.
that did not sound right.
Constituted?
Yes.
Have you ever constituted?
No, I.
You've never constituted in your entire
no,
life.
I ate bran.
Ooh.
You gotta constitute every once in a while to like clean the pipes out.
Alright.
It's quite freeing, actually.
Right. So how
I saved George, everybody. Don't worry.
What was he doing?
the first couple
He was trying to perk himself.
chunks of time we're gonna go is it'll be individual scenes with each character.
Individual scenes.
So we are actually starting with Roland.
Oh, hello.
This is my new voice.
This is my new weak voice. Oh, hello.
Roland, you blink awake, and you are laying face down in a pile of ashes. The warmth of faint embers emanate from nearby, and your vision comes into focus. And you can see time has stopped in this place, and several figures stand in front of you. You see a woman laying on the ground next to you, her throat slashed open, and blood slowly seeping into the scorched earth beneath her. Clasped in her hands, you see a dagger and a locket. Standing near the doorway of this half-burnt-down house, you see a man, back to you with a small child behind his leg. The man holds a pitchfork, which falls slowly from his grip, slowly, and clashes onto the ashen floor. From your vantage point, you can see a blade sticking through his back from his front. The last figures you see in this room are a handsome young man, blonde hair, and enamel white gold armor, clearly wielding the blade which killed the other. And then you see a final figure, one that doesn't belong in this scene. You see a lanky, slender humanoid figure, dressed in tight brown leather garb, wearing a long black cloak with a hood covering most of what you would call a face. But the lower portion you can see is also covered in leather. And where a mouth would be, you see a mouth stitched like a doll's. What do you do?
I'll take the dagger out of her hand and go to attack the lanky guy.
Alright. As you step forward, as you step forward and you swing your blade to attack. You feel the blade, it should connect, but you feel it go through the figure with the sword extended. And the strange figure that doesn't belong here leans back in the chair that he's sitting on, which he seems to have picked up. It's already halfway burned through, 2 of the legs missing, but it's standing up on its own accord. And he sits and looks to you and he says, "Your life has been a trail of blood and manipulation, much like mine, Roland. What would you do if you were given a second chance? I cannot change these events, but you can change events in the future." And he sips from a mug.
That's a cat.
I'd stop them.
You would do what you could to stop this from happening?
Of course. I'm no hero, but tyrants must be removed.
The world doesn't always need heroes, Roland. Sometimes they just need a dark blade in the night. You know this as well as I. Do not allow the shadows of your past to follow you as you walk into the sunset. Instead, look forward into the light, and then when you are ready, turn back, then become the dusk. Roland, I grant you my boon. You are reborn. And the scene around you kind of goes up in red embers and ashes and fades to darkness. And as you open your eyes, you're staring at a stone ceiling. Fenric, you sit in complete and utter darkness. And you feel this tugging on your chest.
It's a little bit nicer
My
than the
scene's a
burning
lot
village. And you wake up in heaven.
You're dead!
You wake up in heaven and everyone has beers and they say, Fenric! You are standing in perfect darkness and from your chest you feel something tugging, like a sharp pain pulling you in a direction. It pulls you up from where you stand and you walk blindly, almost unknowingly, for what feels like hours and then days. And eventually you come to the silhouette of a simple wooden door. You can see cracks of light peering out from inside of it. And through your will or someone else's, you reach up and you open the door and it creaks open. And you realize you walked out of a small shed. A vaguely familiar shed, and as you look around, you see an orchard. And now in the light, you see this golden thread running from your chest to a large ring hanging by a bonfire, with many other threads running through a thick grove of trees, and you see a figure sitting at the fire. You see Ilmater again, the scarred god who you spoke with and whose blade you carried. He smiles kindly and sadly and gestures for you to sit, and as you approach you can see that the thread that runs from your chest through this ring, a gold thread runs into him, and you see a freshly cut out wound in his ribs, which he's staunching as best he can, and a thread runs from inside him up into this ring. And you're sitting, and what do?
Hello again.
Hello, young Master Trill.
Are you okay?
It is my realm to carry such burdens. If I could, I would take on all the suffering in the world, but alas, I cannot. That is why people like you devote yourselves to our cause, to alleviate that suffering in whatever way you can.
You didn't do the best one just now.
Things got out of hand, and you all did the best that you could, and I believe that you will succeed.
Thank you. I think so too.
He smiles, and he says, back in your training ground, they gave you a name, a nickname. Do you remember what it was?
The gold heart?
Yes, the Gold Heart.
Oh, not the other nickname. I didn't like the other one very much.
No, not the other one.
Okay.
Coming up, sir.
Not cum dumpster.
Oh, that one either. That's not the one I was thinking of.
Oh, that was the one they must have said behind your back.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Why did
Who
they?
said that?
Yeah. Why
Everyone
did
says that.
they? Everyone. Teachers,
Everyone.
janitor, faculty, everyone.
Oh, that's.
Oh my god.
Fenric, why did they call you Gold Heart?
Because
Why?
everyone loves me. Right?
No, that's why they. I can't even say.
Ooh.
I can't
Well
even say.
Nice.
I would put it
I'm
to you.
too innocent to say that
No,
word.
no, that was edgy.
That was perfect.
That's
No, you are edgy.
I'm edgy.
Um,
I almost said. No, never
What?
mind.
Can't even say it now.
Plum tuckered out.
Plum tuckered.
Then I
I-
would put it to you to live up to that name, the good one.
Yes, no matter what they taught, I always stood by my principles and what I thought was right, even though some people did not agree.
Well then, I wish for you to be the shoulders of strength and stability in your group. You must always remind them that goodness must win out overall. I grant you my boon, and you will have your second chance. Bring balance and peace, if you can.
Bring balance to the force.
And as he says that, the leaves on all the trees turn a bright gold color and begin to fill the area, and you open your eyes again, and you are laying, staring up at a stone ceiling.
I prefer the gold. I was gonna leave it up to the imagination what the other one was, but
No,
that's okay.
Nope. I knew what it
left the
was.
door open.
I've read the fan fiction.
Oh man. That's
That was
Yeah,
good.
you should be proud you have fan fiction about you.
I don't actually.
No, you don't actually.
No.
I had to just double check. Okay.
We're too small time for that.
All right.
Yay.
You feel cold air cascading past your feet as you walk down a long, winding set of stairs. The best you can tell, there are no walls or ceilings, simply a seemingly endless case of these stairs. And as the air begins to lessen in the wind that's been blowing across, you feel it slow and eventually come to a cool chill. As you step down, what you see before you is a walkway into the ruins of what was once a decadent palace. You see that time has taken its toll in this place, and the stone has begun to crack and crumble, and behind this structure you see a dull purple sun rising or setting somewhere in the distance. You can't tell. You can see a wilted garden surrounded by walls which seem to have been smashed ages ago, thick ivy wrapping around the broken chunks of stone. And you hear a voice, and it says, I told you, you will lose everything, but gain so much more. And as you look around, you see sitting on the steps of the rubbled side of this palace, Nox and Tyrell, two half-elves. Nox stands and helps Tyrell to his feet. Says, please, come. It's time for you to make a choice. And they lead you through this palace. As you walk through the main hallway, you can see down into a vast throne room which has a figure seated on it. A lord or a king of some kind sits, and you can see that their flesh has all but rotted away as they lean forward, dead in their seat. Cobwebs cover this haunting visage as you walk down more stairs into a dungeon, and down below this dungeon into a massive cavern where you see two massive figures.
That's a big boy.
Didgeridoo is the noise I hear.
It's really deep, just
Standing before you are these two hunched, cloaked statues bearing massive mirrors. They both aim toward a platform in the center of the two of them, which you can walk up on and see into both of them easily enough. Nox nods in the direction of the platform, and they both say in unison, choose. What do you do?
I am going to look into the first mirror. What do I see? Can I do a perception check or something? Or?
No, you don't need to.
Okay.
As you look into the mirror, you see yourself on the left. You're much older. You're dressed in finery, wearing a stern expression on your face. Behind you, you see a vast mansion or palace, whatever it is, that's filled with ornate decor. You are being waited on by several humans and elves wearing simple white tunics with polished brass collars around their necks. As you make eye contact with yourself, the other you looks at you and smiles in a cruel way. And you look to the right, and you see yourself older again, but in this reflection, you're wearing an ensemble similar to the one that you're currently wearing. Though somewhat more worn down by age and use, you see behind you scenes of gnomes and dwarves laboring. You can almost hear songs being sung as hammers ring out on anvils, carts of food being carried out by large beasts. And you look back to a pair of gnomes you haven't seen in a long time. And as your reflection sees them, and you see them, they look at you, and they look at the reflection, and they smile. And then your reflection turns back and looks at you, fiercely, grinning in a challenging way.
Am I alone in this room now, or is Nox and Tyrell still with me?
Nox and Tyrell are still standing behind you.
So I turn to them, and I say, are these the two futures? The two to choose?
These are the two paths that fortune and misfortune will lead you down.
Well, I'm struck by this feeling that I've never felt before. You know, I've always been alone, and I've always just had to watch out for myself. But I miss the people that I've been with, and I've never missed anyone before. And I can see that in the right, that might be the way that I can see them again.
So you choose the reflection on the right.
I do. The right is the
The one
With the dwarves and stuff.
Yeah, dwarves and gnomes and stuff, yeah.
God, make sure I keep my left and right straight, you know.
Just took a weird veer. Okay. As you say that, Nox and Tyrell disappear. And then you see the reflection on the right step out of the mirror and walk down toward you. And she extends a hand out to you.
I reach out.
As you do, she smiles and she says, "You've chosen misfortune. I'm proud of you." And she pulls you in and embraces you. And she steps back into her reflection and she says, "Go forth and in my memory carry out words of comfort and destruction as need be. I've chosen you because you are the epitome of us." And she gestures to the other reflection. You came from nothing, less than nothing, but you took everything. What you do will bear on the world around you. It will bear down like a thunderstorm. Feast and famine, war and peace, life and death. You will leave a mark on this world, but now I think for the better. And the darkness of the room closes in around you, and you open your eyes, and you're staring at a stone ceiling. Virio,
Ah!
that may well be your reaction. You feel ice
Ah!
against your skin.
Not again. You're in a circus.
Oh no, not the ice capades.
Not again. You feel ice packed against your skin, and you hear a voice in the back of your head. Virio.
Ah!
Virio.
What?
We had a deal, Virio.
Oh no. Yeah, but the deal's... Wait, the deal's off.
You can't turn your back on me, Virio. No matter what tricks of death you play, I will come for you.
Wait, I'm dead?
You're somewhere in between.
I see.
I try to. What do I have on me? Am I wearing my normal clothes I was before? What's
You can't really see that well. It feels like you have some clothing on, but you feel like it might not be like armor or anything like that. Like it feels like it might be just simple robes or like a simple tunic and pants.
Yeah, I try to cast. Do I have any? I don't have anything in my hands or anything. I try and cast Prestidigitation
Okay.
just to like create some light in the space. Like,
You
like some
try to
sparks.
cast it, but the abilities that were there, just nothing comes out, and you're struggling, and this voice is getting louder in the back of your head, and then you feel something push through the ice towards you, and it grabs your hand, and it tries to pull you out.
Okay.
It's me, motherfucker.
You feel death.
I pull my
Distortions.
hand back as hard as I can.
As you break out, you see yourself standing on top of a peak. And all around you, you can see a vast cutout of what is very clearly familiar to you. And you feel yourself recognize the Veil of June. And as you're looking, you see the figure before you. A tall bird-like entity stands before you, wearing a rough tunic and carrying a tall white staff. Her feathers are white, but shimmer with a silvery hue when the wind blows them, and her wings are folded back behind her, and she looks at you and raises a hand, and the wind stops. And you realize that not only are you in the Vale of June, you are standing on the top of the Frozen Spine, the tallest peak in the Vale of June, maybe in the world. And as you look out, now that the wind has stopped and the snow isn't assaulting your senses anymore, you can see all the different tribes of the barbarians walking around in their different locations, going about their lives. You see battling, hunting, building, destroying, feasting, and raging, carrying on across the lands as they always do. She gestures north, and you look past her, and you can see beyond Ashar, beyond Dinar, to a vast desert in Kor, and you can see a massive jagged crack ripping up into the sky. She places a hand on your shoulder and says, "I am Siranta. You are here because my people pray for you, Virio. You were kind to them, and many of them now bear children who carry your name for the deeds you did for them. There is no greater honor among the Aarakocra than to have your name passed on to a new generation. I have made a deal with the Raven Queen to stay your death. You have more to do for me and my people. I have seen it. If you are not successful, my people will not outlast the darkness which creeps in from the death of the north to the blight of the south. Virio Tompkins, I name you champion of the Aarakocra. I bid you to wake, be free of the darkness that once shackled your mind. Protect the fringes of the world in my name. The natural world cannot stand against the meddling of mortals who seek destruction for destruction's sake. But do this for me, Virio, and you shall be renowned as a hero, not forgotten as a madman."
Oh, what? This is all so sudden. Sorry, I'm Dr. Virio Tompkins.
I know, Virio.
I extend my hand.
She reaches out and you shake hands.
Creepy bird.
Sorry, pleasantries. I figured we're in order.
Of course.
So you say I'm freed.
You're free from the shackles of the one who once enslaved your mind.
I see, and I'm getting a second chance. See, I'll be able to teach again. I'll be able to do my research.
If that be what your heart desires your pursuit to be, but I cannot remove the scars on your mind that was left. I can only encourage you to pursue the strengths that you have within you when you come back.
I see. So I'll never be Dr. Virio Tompkins again.
I think you will always be Dr. Virio Tompkins. But perhaps the blade is needed more than the pen in this instance.
I see.
Do not let this erase the deeds that you have done, Virio. This will only add to your list of credentials.
All right. Well,
Continuing to shake
Yes.
her hand and not let go during this whole conversation.
seems we have a deal.
Wonderful. I look forward to seeing all the things that you accomplish. And the snow begins to swirl around you again. And you open your eyes, and you are staring at a stone ceiling. And as you look up, all of you now look around, you can see that you are in a small, well, medium-sized stone room. In the four corners of this room, there are two large windows, one on the shorter wall, one on the wider wall, each looking out. And through them you can smell the brine of the sea and hear waves crashing on the shore. The sky is dim, dawn or dusk. You cannot tell. What do you do?
I whistle.
Whoa!
Fuck!
We're each in different rooms, right?
You're all in the same.
All in the same room.
Oh, we're all in the same room.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked over and got scared.
I know, I look around and realize that we're all together.
Wait. Where is the child?
Not near.
I'm right here. Oh, that child.
Yeah, no, not you. The one that acts like an adult but is a child, not the other way around.
As you all come to, you realize that you're sort of dressed in
Don't
very,
disagree.
very simple robes. Just a very light blue tunic and blue pants, and there doesn't seem to be anything else of inventory-esque nature in this room.
Somebody changed our clothes.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's not good. The child is running around naked.
There's
That's
Child is probably wearing the same clothes as us.
You
Wherever.
know her kid name.
Oh,
They
that,
are.
that
Her
makes
name is
sense.
Kismet, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, like,
Wow, you
Yes.
remembered.
oh,
I wanted.
I guess I did.
Does anyone else have a headache?
A little bit. Did you...
Do you usually not?
Wait,
No?
where were we
No,
last?
I just traveled with four of
We
them.
weren't here. Can we see anything out the window? I look out the window.
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Perception would be 13.
13. Okay. As you look out, which window are you looking out? The one on the shorter wall, or the one on the wider wall?
Wider wall.
You look out through the wider wall, you can see a set of cliffs kind of rising up in front of you, with the ocean circling around to your right.
Are the cliffs snowy at all?
No, they're not.
Okay.
I'm looking out as well, but I'm just squinting because of the sun. I rolled a disadvantage, got a 1. So
Sure is wet out here.
I'd like to look out the shorter wall.
Good.
who's making the short jokes now?
That's pretty good.
17.
17.
I forgot what it was because it changed.
Yeah.
I had to like look for it.
Oh,
I know, that's me too.
Carrying over from what
Changed my
Aurora
map.
saw, you see that these cliffs sort of slope downward, and out that window you can see that there are some smaller town-like buildings. Like it looks like homes.
Can we tell it's like similar to what
Tavern?
we're in, or is what we're in like complete stone?
What you are in seems to be complete stone. With your perception check, like looking out the window, you can gather this is like an old like guard tower of some kind.
So there's no like trap door or anything like.
Is
like,
there a door
you know,
at all?
There is a door.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
Oh.
a simple wooden door like in the room.
Well, let's
I'm gonna go try the door.
try
Wait.
the door.
Wait, weren't we just in... Weren't we just into last day not that long ago?
Yes.
Is that the last thing you all remember?
Yeah, that is the last thing I remember.
The last thing.
Oh my
That's
god!
Good one. That's very good.
I hate myself for laughing at that.
Got
But
no
damn,
use
that's
for
good.
I've got no use for it to give you like out the gate, but I want to give you a point of inspiration.
Oh,
Damn fine pun.
that was awesome.
No point of inspiration. Last 30 seconds. Use
Yeah.
it
Oh man.
Alright, yeah, we try the door.
As you
I want to try the door.
as you grab the hand, who was grabbing the door?
I said it first.
Yeah, he did say it first. It's fine.
You're looking out.
You both
the
go
window.
for the door. He gets it first.
You did the higher decks.
Wait, no, you go ahead.
Um,
I don't believe.
while
it
they're
was
reaching
first.
for the door, I'm gonna also stick my head kind of out the window.
Okay.
But then just go, Rooted!
Go ahead and make an animal handling check.
Oh no.
Ryan, with the highest
9.
animal
Nine,
handling in the world.
You call out and you hear your voice echo across this big, hollow, opened area.
Get like
and-
the
yeah, like
big wide shot.
panning up crane shot. But there is no Rookton.
I think I heard him call my name back.
Wait, what?
Dang.
Ravens are great at mimicry.
So
Viridian,
are
they're
sheer
not
cliffs.
that good.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good.
Yeah, but not that good.
What do you mean?
So as you open the door, you see a simple corridor. You see another room similar to yours with a door open across the hallway. To your left, there looks to be sort of like a little an alcove with another window on it to look out over the area, and then a set of stairs to your right.
Is there anything else in this hallway?
You can see a few shelves or not shelves, just like a few simple tables with just some paper, some pens, a few candles. There are a few torch sconces
Okay.
on the walls, but other than that, it's pretty empty.
So the room across from us, doors open.
Yep, wide open.
I'll kind of hurry across to
Okay.
check
Go
that
ahead and
out.
make a perception check.
So we're just wearing these blue robes, but we don't have any supplies or anything on us.
No
right?
items. or
We're just
anything on
like blue robes.
Yep.
Okay.
Am I in direct sunlight?
you. In here, no.
Good. 23.
Okay. You're looking around this room, and you can see there are 4 beds in this room as well. They do not seem to have been used recently. There are some small tables, like nightstands next to the beds. You do see a dagger laying on one.
Taking that.
Then 10 pieces of gold, sort of like scattered between the 4 of them, just resting on the.
I will actually ignore
tables.
that.
Okay, you can grab
Just
a
grab
dagger.
a dagger.
I follow into the room.
Okay.
Do I also see these things?
Do you point them out?
No.
Okay. You can make a perception check then.
Ha ha ha! 21.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, you easily see the dagger and the 10 pieces of gold laying around.
I
Nope.
take the gold.
You missed it somehow. I don't know.
All right, you can add 10
DC
pieces of
22.
gold.
It's a very stealthy gold.
Yes. It's gold, but it's like tarnished, so it looks like bronze from a distance.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bronze pieces. Bronze
Who
pieces.
even uses these?
So outdated.
Anything else?
That's pretty much it. It's pretty emptied out. As you guys are looking around this room, you can hear coming from the floor below you. You hear, and then you hear.
I'll duck behind the door.
Okay.
Fenric starts humming.
You can tell by the way no time to talk.
Too good. 22.
22? Okay, you can probably consider yourself hidden.
Oh, DC 23. It's so close.
Darn. Passive
Hello!
perception 80.
Is someone there?
Oh? Hello?
Hello!
Hi. Oh my goodness! And you hear the kind of like pick up as you hear them coming
Does
up
this
the
person
stairs.
have 3 feet, like 3 legs? What's going on?
Oh, John's gonna pull up a picture right now.
Of a 3-legged gentleman.
That's not.
Oh! Yes!
Oh, he's got a
It's Oogway!
he's got a little walking stick.
Coming up the stairs, you see a turtle.
Oh my goodness.
Green skin wraps around his head. You can see some spikes sort of protruding from his forehead. He carries a simple wooden staff and wears a sash around him.
I love him already.
Over the top of his shell, not pictured, is a light blue tabard which matches the tone of the robes that you are wearing.
Hey.
On this vestment, you see the image of a book, and written below it is Seiyu Dega 1233.
Do we know what that means?
Make a history check.
Or is it in a particular language that?
It's in common.
Oh, it's in common. Okay. History check. I got a 24.
Now.
Y'all are killing it on the reboot.
Should kill us off sooner.
This is something that you wouldn't know that much about strictly because it was sort of like outside the realm of your interests, but you definitely know about this academy that was founded somewhere far away from your home, called the Academy of Seiyu Dega.
I look at him and I say, "The school?"
Oh, this isn't the school. No, hello, I'm Skull Paddle. And he shuffles up to all of you that he can see and starts shaking your hands vigorously.
Oh, yes.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you're awake. They'll be so excited up at the academy.
Wait, how long have we been here?
Oh, I don't know if that's something I should talk about.
Does he seem on the level? I rolled a 5 insight.
Yeah.
Does he seem
Okay.
on my level?
He's slightly taller than you. He's, for a turtle, he's fairly short. He's about like 4'5". Most turtles sit around like 6 feet tall, so he seems pretty short.
I'll kind of just tuck the dagger behind my arm and I'll
I
walk
think
out from my hiding space.
that I know you say it's not your place, but we have many questions and we need answers.
Oh, and you want them from Skull Paddle? Okay, well, why don't you come with me? Come and sit, and we will talk. Okay?
Okay, that
Okay.
seems... Okay.
Do you have any tea?
No.
Well,
We could get some.
Fenrir comes back from the corner where he ran when he heard the word school.
Shit, not again.
I just started looking around wildly and then came over.
He he turns and starts walking out of the room, and you guys are all following him out of the
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah.
As you walk out, what you see is a town, or what was once a town. You see a bunch of simple wooden buildings, towers, not a very large city. It seems like a small port. Not even a city, it's like a small port town. And it doesn't seem to have been like burnt down or attacked. It just seems to have been abandoned or forgotten about, and it's just slowly rotting away. Even as you look out, you can see the cliffs that you noticed out the windows. What you see is these two large cliffs reaching up with a thin sliver down the middle. You see the ocean beyond and a huge port lake leading up to the shores of this town. In the lake, you can see that there are ships even that have just begun to rot, and some of them are half sunk, just sitting.
Are there any people?
No.
What's your tortoise's name again?
Skull Paddle.
Like paddling with a skull.
So, Skull Paddle.
Haha.
Where are
Is that one
everyone else?
Oh, they're up at the academy.
What happened here?
Oh, the Ducktown? Ducktown? Well, a hurricane came through and the people left pretty much after that. Life is like a hurricane here in Ducktown.
You came from one of the boats? Oh.
I get it.
Good one.
He begins to trudge out towards the homes that you can see from the guardhouse that you've stepped down from. And as you get closer, you can hear him rummaging around inside one of the houses, throwing things, and he eventually comes out with a small tin. I found some tea. Can anybody make fire?
Oh, yeah, sure, no problem.
Oh, cool.
And you try tries. He picks up. I don't know what would he have meant before. Do I have any weapons whatsoever?
Nope.
I pick up a stick and try and cast Green Flame Blade.
Nothing happens.
Damn it! I throw the stick on the ground.
Oh, that's a good start to a bonfire. The biggest bonfire starts with the smallest stick. And he like grabs a chunk of the like rotting building and just pulls a hunk off and like starts like chomping down and breaking it and throwing it into the pile. Anybody do fire magic or anything?
Well, our fire magic friend is missing.
Oh. Alright, you have questions. That's okay. He reaches into his shell and he pulls out a tinder box and it takes him a while, but he eventually gets it going. So just like find a broken barrel or a wheelbarrow or like a crate or something if you want to sit. And he plops down in the sand.
Uriel just sits down in the sand as well.
He's grabbed a metal pot and he's like boiling seawater over it and goes, the tea won't be great, but it won't kill you. And as the water heats, he says, so what are your questions that Skullpaddle can help you with?
Where's Kismet?
The small pale child,
Yes.
they are up at the academy. They needed a bit more special care for their resurrection than the rest of you. And we didn't want to keep all of you in one location just in case things went to hunky-hurdy sideways. So we kept you guys down here with some guards that are sort of scattered around here and there, mostly up on the cliffs.
Resurrection?
Yes. You all sort of kicked the bucket back there, huh?
What's a bucket?
It's like a bucket, but it's got a bend in it.
Gotta go sideways.
That makes sense.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty much the entire city went kerfloof, and you guys were lucky to get out of there with your heinies intact.
Fenric looks.
Both of you just looked.
Tanner, don't leave me hanging. Too good.
One of your buddies brought you here to recover, and we weren't sure if you were going to pull through, but once your vitals sort of stabilized, we figured you'd come around eventually.
What buddy? Who was it?
An elven guy. His name was like Imbru Cashin or something like that. He's the elf with the silver hair.
I'm Brukashan, yes.
Yeah, that guy. He brought you here on the wagon. Well, a boat, and then a wagon.
Where is here?
Here is the Academy of Seudega.
Where is that?
It's never really one place at once. We move around here and there.
And currently?
Currently, we're located off the east coast of Steelhold. A little ways over. We're in Halfling territory, technically. Halfling pirates. They're nice guys.
Good to know.
Are you grabbing your map out?
Yeah, I'm looking
Fenric
at
says
it.
R and tries to change his.
It would be the island on the upper.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like the world map wraps around.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so we're like all the way over here.
yeah, on this little island
Okay.
of
Tukish.
Tunura.
Sonora. Yeah.
Tunura.
I was reading it upside down. I didn't mean to call it the island of Tukish.
The island of
Tukus.
Tukus. Yes, that's the one.
Tukus Island.
Fenric says R and tries to change his clothes into a pirate outfit.
Nothing happens.
He's
Or
very
what?
sad.
Oh, the tea's ready. And he pulls out 4 metal mugs and pours you all a cup of tea.
Well,
Sorry if it tastes salty. That's just how the ocean works.
it's okay. We're used to it.
Oh, well, that's good. So, what other questions?
How you said we were resurrected? How did that happen?
You tell me, Holmes Skillet. We just brought you here and gave you broth and changed your duties sometimes. Just kidding.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's like college all over again.
There wasn't many duties. It was sort of a magical suspension setup.
Just like college,
Speaking
all
of-
over.
Speaking of which, where's the nearest restroom?
He looks around. He's like, "Well, how respectful do you feel of abandoned cultures?"
I'm just gonna go behind this wall.
That's the way.
Thanks.
Wait,
It's been
abandoned?
about. Wait, how long have we been in suspension?
Oh. Everybody sitting down still?
No, I gotta go take a dump.
Well-
It feels like I've got maybe X amount of years stuffed inside me.
Well, if this was the place of the x's equaling things, the x would equal 1.
Ah!
They run behind the wall.
One what?
1 year.
Oh.
So much has happened.
Oh, sorry. Lots of things have happened. Some good, mostly bad.
Can you hit the
The war?
key points real quick?
Well, you can ask
Bit of a
Old Skull
timeline.
Paddle a question, and I'll let you. It's sort of a broad subject.
Do you have toilet paper?
No.
I'll just use the shell here, I guess.
Shovel?
The shell. Wait,
Oh,
there's
That's
two
even
more.
worse.
I'll use the 3 shell system. This is fine.
Ow!
Is the war still going on?
Well, the war is sort of in a different way than it was before. After the city went kerfloof, most of the paladins sort of beefed it back to the Narc because they didn't want to deal with the big hole they made in the plains. So it's sort of a ragtag team of like some of the Dinar paladins and some of the Azure Blades and some zombies and some other peoples.
So people are still fighting.
More holding a patrol at this point. The city of the last day is sort of like wrapped up in this big, scary, and he like points back to the west. And it takes a while for your eye to find it, but you can see this big, black, jagged column ripping up beyond your line of sight all the way up into the sky.
So some things never change.
It's gotten a little bigger in the year. It seems to be getting bigger, and sometimes scarier things come out of it.
Wait, I think I remember this. I think I've seen this before.
Go on.
Before we woke
Wait,
up.
are you still pooping?
No, I'm back. I used my 3 shells.
Before we woke up!
He just sticks his head around the wall.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before.
Before you continue,
Yeah, no, I'm back.
you need
I've
to know.
My hands are dripping wet from some water I found.
Found.
Some standing water. This will make it better.
It's more sanitary than the ocean, maybe.
No, I had this weird dream, I guess, before we all awoke. It was strange. There was an Aarakocra pointed to something similar in the skyline, I think.
That was very unhelpful.
Sorry, my memory is still a little fickle. It's something about stopping or
Do you have anything
the
helpful,
danger
Aurora?
in the north.
No.
Wait, Skull Paddle. Question.
Yes?
What's going on with the blight?
Oh.
Within the Vale.
It's sort of moved up from just outside of the Wildenheim area to sort of up to the southern regions of the Bjorf clan territory. They've been moving northward as it's been going, but
Wait, is there any news of some researchers trying to cure it?
none that I've heard. I mean, talk is happening up in the places where people
Talk, yes.
care about that sort of thing, but I have not heard. Somebody said that there was some researcher trying to get a certain flower from the Feywilds. That's another story. From the Feywilds, but they haven't seen or heard from her since she went in.
Oh,
She.
no, it's fine. They're talking about Bridget.
She went
I
in with a
figured.
couple of people.
I said I figured.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
They have not come back out since, but
Oh.
sometimes the Feywilds can get a little hunky-hatty with the time frame and the timeline, so...
I think we dealt with that before when we were in the traveling library.
Yes. Things are wonky out there, huh? It's speaking of the Feywilds, since I'm talking about it, they've sort of gone a little hoo-ha too. They're not where they were. They're sort of all over the place now. And if you look on the map, essentially they have consumed the entirety of Steelhold, all the way down to the borders of Kor.
Okay.
Wait, like Dinar core border or
All the way down to the northern border of Kor.
where is
So
that?
the peninsula?
Is that the green?
Steelhold, Miramir, the northernmost continent.
Sure, I'm just gonna
Or
draw
country.
a weird line. I'm just gonna.
The pink.
They're both pink.
Assume everything north of Kor is overgrown.
Got it. There we go.
Feywilds.
And what of Ashar?
Ashar, they've pretty much shut down business. Dinar tried to muscle them into helping them fight everybody. They said no, but then, well, the shit happened, and now nobody wants anything to do with Dinar, and Ashar has just sort of been trying to keep the barbarians who are coming north back while they try to keep their industry going, but it's hard to sell when your closest neighbor is either barbarians or people you don't do business with. So Ashar's in something of like, what's the opposite of a renaissance?
A depression.
Yeah, that's still on.
Is that the joke you were going to make?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
trying to think.
really?
I was trying to think of something, but yeah.
So that's pretty much the state
the
of
joke.
affairs out there.
I
Unless anybody-
I was trying to think of something clever that would be like close to that, but not that.
The state of affairs are pretty rough.
I'm
yeah,
not
it's
having an affair.
not super good out there.
Well, you know what they say.
So,
Abandon the belfry is worth two in the dead horse.
Who says that?
I don't know.
Kelly's mom.
You're probably not wrong.
totally say that.
That's perfect.
She doesn't know. My mom always just
That's good with
slightly screws up every idiomatic phrase she's ever said. And I grown up learning them wrong, and
Nice.
now I don't know what any of them are. That's just a little insight into my life.
That's good.
Anything else you'd like to know?
So what's
I
the
want
state
to
of
go
affair there? What's the state of affairs here?
Here? Oh, we're pretty much set off the sides here. We eat the fish and the kelp, and nobody really bothers. The pirates are sort of bummed because there's not really much pirating to be done, but they're fine. They're drunk. They're happy. They let us stay here.
wait, so there's an economy? Are there other people besides you here at Skull Paddle?
Oh yeah, the academy is just up the hill that way, and he like points up the village as it rises to the north. You can see sort of like rocky terrain. It's just up that way.
Will
And
you take us there?
oh yeah, that was sort of my get-go from the get-go. If you guys want to go now, if you got any more questions,
Wait.
Skull Paddle can answer on the way.
I do have a question. When I guess died,
Uh-huh.
I had a war pick with ruby attached to the top. Do you happen to know where I went?
I didn't really handle your guys' stuff too much when it came in. I just sort of was like assigned to keep an eye on you down here, but I know that the travels over weren't super cheap for Imbru, so I know that he probably burned through some of your gold. Sorry about that, but it was necessary to save your lives. Any other equipment would be in storage up at the academy if it is around.
I see. So, how much for your shell?
Hey, it's sort of attached to my spine.
Oh, alright.
You can't just ask people how much their shells are.
Are you sure?
If I beef it due to non-viral related causes, then you may have my shell.
Nice. I will write this down.
Will you trade it for the other 3 shells previously?
Seems like a good trade to me.
I mean, that's 1 used shell for 3 used shells, so that seems fair.
I don't know if it might be a volumetric system.
Yeah, there you go.
Shell volume.
So yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Let's start heading to the academy.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Cool beans, blue jeans, follow me. And you
Fenric
can
sighs.
trudge up.
Super long.
It's just a montage of Fenric sighing as we
As we walk up the.
Oh, that's great.
I ask you to carry me.
Fenric, are you just wearing that because we're all wearing that?
I look down. Oh. Inadvertently, I believe yes.
Oh.
In I guess inadvertently is the right word. I say in some sense yes.
Subconsciously?
I can't seem to change my clothes.
Oh, I mean, like I change mine. I just shower and I take them off.
I mean,
put them back on, and
instantaneously, like
Oh.
at this moment.
I see.
This is happening while you guys are going.
Yeah, yeah.
And you walk up and you see a partially forested, almost scrubland as you make your way up the hill. Not the like rolling greens, but more of like a muted brown, dull hues of gray-green grass. To the northwest, you see what looks like cracks and fissures in the ground with steam slowly churning out of them. To the northeast, where the road leads, you see a tall, slate-gray building with many spires and an emerald green roof. And to the southeast, on the jagged, cracked landscape on the cliffs, right in front of this building, but below the very tall hill that it's on, you see a cracked, jagged landscape where the plates have pushed up and tilted it. You see a very Spartan-looking training arena. The entire building is tilted downward with fairly treacherous pathways leading up to it. You can see several figures walking to and from these locations, all wearing the same robe as Skullpaddle. As you make your way up this pathway, you're just sort of circumventing the path that leads up to the arena area, and I need Virio and Fenric to make a dexterity saving throw.
I refuse.
If I miss it by one, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh no! Oh no! Plus, it's a 6.
Okay,
18.
18. So something happens very out of the blue, very suddenly, and Virio, perhaps because of the method of delivery, you are unable to detect it as quickly as Fenric. Fenric, you
Just over my head.
see this dust cloud quickly approaching from the road in front of you, and it comes to a stop right in front of you, and had you not stepped aside, you would have been run over by this figure, which is Terry, the war pony.
Woo!
Virio,
Ah!
you feel a smack in the back of your head as feathers explode all over the place, and Rugton settles in on your shoulder.
Roostin, you sold son of a bitch! How the hell are you?
I'm ruffling him.
He's like, God damn it, like Rugton looks like he's had a rough go, but he is here, and he is alive.
Oh, Rootin, my sweet baby boy.
Fenric goes. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. You can reminisce too. I'm not crying. You're crying.
Mario's crying.
Fenric goes over and hugs Terry and strokes his mane and goes, I would never call you a son of a bitch. It's okay.
As this is like happening, like Skullpaddle's like uncomfortably close to both of you, just like, oh, this is a tender moment. I'm glad I was here to see it. And he turns and starts making his way back up the pathway. You get to the gates of this tall hall, and Skullpaddle opens this blue teal door, and the building inside is composed of very, very smooth, beautiful stonework. It's like a pale blue and soft pinks, slate polished, and the walls are all adorned, and all the archways of the doors are all adorned with this beautiful golden filigree. But these all pale in comparison to the ceiling. The ceiling is unlike any work any of you have ever seen. You see panels depicting hundreds of different figures. The feature's difficult to make out, but you see one figure fighting this massive dragon, and you see another figure pulling a glowing white blade from a forge, and they're moving like in real time. And you see a group of students gathered near the entrance that you're walking past, watching a figure surrounded by what looks like devils with white eyes and gnashing teeth. And you see the devils all leap inward, and then you see the panel go black. And the students shake their heads and walk away, and Skull Paddle shakes his head and goes, "Oh, that's too bad. You should never go to the 9 hells alone. That's the devotion training 101 right there. But that's how it goes sometimes."
Wait, someone went to the 9 hells?
They were in the 9 hells. Now they're not anymore. Well, not alive anyways.
What happened?
Oh, they just... the big one.
Wait, are you pointing up like they're up above us?
He's pointing to the panel that had like this depiction of them.
Oh,
But it's like played through.
Yeah.
I'm like, does it start again soon?
No, sort of. If you beef it, your panel goes dark and makes room for a new panel.
Wait, so this is just, these panels are just people dying.
Well, they're people who graduate from the academy, and they go out into the world. You see, here at the Academy of Sayudega, we train heroes.
I see, what's a hero?
It's like a sandwich.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, a hero, yes. I get the joke.
And you can look around now. You see that in some of the hall, it's this entire hallway has, Skull Paddle will tell you, 200 panels in it. And you can see that several of them are darkened out. And he says, "We call this the Hall of the 200, for we can only have 200 heroes from our academy out at a time. When somebody kicks it, then we bring in a new one. And you get the panel. So that's pretty cool, huh?"
are we a part of that, or are we
Well, you're
a
not.
separate entity?
You're not enrolled yet. You have to meet the vice dean first.
Why can't we meet the main team? Why do we have to meet the vice team?
The
I'm
main-
important.
I don't know. I don't know if it's called.
My
main-
dad donated a lot of money to build that West Wing.
They spent so much money to get me into this school.
Under the table, you know.
Yeah, it was a donation.
So, how do we get to enrolled?
The what?
Wait,
You said we're not enrolled yet. How do we
No,
get
that's
to
a
enrolled?
bad joke, buddy. He,
What? Okay.
as he says that, he like
Did I
opens the
have-
door. And he gestures in for you, and you see a very simple office with a figure sitting behind the desk. You see a dwarven man, very pudgy, with a massive beard, what seems to be these small white beads, you realize are actually bones that are braided into his beard. Says, "Vice Dean, I've got them. They're awake. Well, except for the little one, but I don't know what's going on. You never loop me in." And he waves him away. And he's like, "Okay, I'll see you guys in the calf or whatever." And he walks away, and the dwarf smiles and he says, "Greetings. I am Vice Dean Grubon Skullcracker." If any of you
One
have
more
heard-
time.
Dracula.
One more time.
Vice Dean Grubon Skullcracker.
Okay.
Okay, Skullcracker.
Welcome to
Skullcracker.
the Academy of Sayudega. I
can't
see
say
you've met
that.
I know.
Skullpaddle, one of our recruits. Is there anything that any of you would like to know, or has Skullpaddle got you all up to date on your questions?
Do you know where Kismet is?
Kismet is with the Dean at the moment, and they will be re-arriving shortly.
But they're okay.
As far as I know, yes, they are alive. I think.
Well, that's usually as much as we can ask for, I
That's
suppose.
the dean's business more than mine.
Where's our stuff?
Some of your items were recovered in the booming and the exploding. You will find them in your assigned dorm rooms here. And he hands you each a key with like a little like number on it.
So, are we, like, enrolled?
If
Do
you
we...
see the need to leave for any other reason, then no. But for all intents and purposes, we'd love to have you training up here. The dean will be back shortly, and he will explain everything from the get-go. But in the meantime, your first day of training would commence tomorrow.
Question.
Yes.
Wait. Nope, I forgot.
I got this one.
Roll and not know what
Well,
you
it's
guys
tra-
even trained
You've
for.
never been enlisted in an army before, have you? I've been
It's more like
drafted.
a drafting into independent contracting. Once you've been sent out, you're sort of on your own to do good as you see fit.
It happens, trust me.
I like. Can I whisper something to them? Like,
If you'd like to, yeah.
something is not sitting right.
Probably the whole hero thing.
It's not so much the hero thing, it's the drafting against your will thing. But
You
that's
don't have to enroll.
damn, I'm not
It's
very
also
good at
like
whispering.
nobody said what their mission is.
Wait, what's your mission statement?
Our mission statement is to train people to go out into the world and do good.
Yeah, no, I
Define
don't buy
good.
Good is whatever you define it to be yourself, my good friend. We have the adventuring types, but we also have smithies. We have people who do community outreach to citizens who cannot feed
No,
themselves.
you had me
We
for a second.
charities, we have merchants, anything that you see fit to train here, you can train in it.
I once knew a charity. She was sweet and tender.
Very good. He strokes his beard.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
First off, why 200?
Well,
It seems rather arbitrary.
it's
I didn't ask you.
it may well be an arbitrary number, or Master excuse me,
Who's master?
the dean.
That
was in character. You can take
Yeah,
that in
yeah.
character.
That was
Perfect.
actually my second question. Is
Okay.
so okay? I guess we'll learn that in time. Now, for the other question is who is the dean if you are the vice dean?
The dean is a somewhat reclusive figure, but they go out into the world to sort of lead by example most of the time, doing good where they can. They've most recently come from a journey to the Shadowfell itself to see what's going on themselves, to find exactly the situation. They should be arriving any day now.
Is one of the classes we can enroll in how to skirt a question?
What's a skirt?
I don't see why we need to skirt around the questions.
Interesting.
Why don't we just avoid them altogether? Just kidding.
Sounds like they have a whole course on it.
Look,
It's a major.
I'm more in charge of like administrative things. I'm not really the big picture dean. Oh, damn it. I should have made him like the community dean. Shit.
That's fine. Community Dean Skullcracker.
But yes, it's really, honestly, the dean took an interest in you. He's the one who had you brought here to recover and bring you back, and would like to get you fighting fit as soon as possible so you can stop whatever's going on over in that place. And he gestures west.
What was the name of the person who brought us here again? I forget.
Does that mean Abruka Shan is the dean?
Wait, no.
He brought us
Where is Abu Shikan?
I guess I couldn't
Sheer
say
Khan.
really. He's a member of member of the academy. He's a member of the 200. He brought you all here and then made way back to wherever his business took him.
Can we see his panel?
Certainly. And he gestures out behind you. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
11.
It takes you a little bit, but eventually you do find one, and like if you squint, you can see like there is a small like bronze plaque on each of them, and it reads Imru Kashan. And he seems to be walking around a small room, scribbling notes down into a book, looking around somewhat nervously, and then you see him bend over and he's writing on the ground, and you see him disappear and then reappear, and he's in a village, and he begins walking through the village, and he arrives in an inn.
Wait, is this what he's doing right now?
Yes! We like to watch all of our students.
You could just watch them?
Well, yeah, to make sure they're doing good.
Is there not a privacy screen for, when I'm using my shells?
We have steps in place to make sure we don't want you
Visit charity.
leans in. Make your poopies or get it on.
I see.
Visit charity.
So you're only going to get about, 10% of what Fenric does.
Well,
The man's a poop sex machine.
this guy
He's
Not
a
at the same
fast
time.
This guy can poop and fuck like you wouldn't believe.
Again, not at the same time. I'm not a pervert.
But not at the same time.
You're missing out.
Oh my god. But yes,
Terrible.
feel free to make your way to your dorm rooms, or we have the cafeterias open as well if you're hungry. I imagine you're hungry.
It's been a year.
We've been sustaining you with magics, but nothing fills the old belly like filling the old belly, am I right?
Do you have bird food?
In which way do you mean?
I point at Rubton.
Oh, to feed, yes, we have like grains and corn and things
Okay.
along those lines.
Oh, okay.
Do you have chicken that we can eat?
Well, that's what
Do you
I,
have that one?
that was the other side that I was wondering, but yes, we have that as well.
Birds don't typically eat chicken.
I'm aware. I
No,
wanted
but
chicken for
bird
myself.
Food was the intended joke, dear.
You've never met a hawk or perhaps a vulture. They will definitely consume other birds.
Is that?
What we're referred to as birds of prey.
One time I watched a rooster eat some chicken off of a sandwich.
Yeah,
That sounds like an interesting afternoon.
This is IRL. Is that what that
Yeah,
was?
that is
Yeah,
IRL.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, chickens are savage.
This is IRL.
Cannibalism.
It was so gross.
Most animals will participate in cannibalism.
Yeah, dude, like if
Dude,
like
that
a
was
chicken
just like
gets
some
injured,
meat
like the other
chilling.
ones will just kill it.
Yeah.
'cause it's like it's gonna get diseases, so we gotta kill it.
You gotta kill it. Gotta eat it.
Chickens are savage
Well,
birds.
twist my wing. Okay.
Birds are rough.
Yeah.
The eggs are so
Ruff.
good.
True.
Yes.
But anyways, any other questions?
Where's the calf? As
Oh, you were.
is what he said.
He points the direction that you were like walking until you turn into his office. Just head down that way. You'll see it's a big open arena. Well, not arena, but a big open room.
It sounds like we're
You must
getting to
fight
a
to the
Food
death for
fights.
your lunch.
It's
with
the
food.
Hunger Games.
The Hungry
The
Games.
Hunger Games. The Hunger Games.
I hate
The hungry
You're welcome.
And he's sort of like, okay, off you go, whatever you will.
Before, when you said calf, I was like, what?
Like
You said,
a
oh, see you in the calf or something. I was
like
like,
a cow.
Like-
Baby
like a
cow? Like a baby cow?
what? What is that?
Saw a mama horse.
Ooh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm yawning too.
John, have you
God damn
seen?
Huh?
John, have you seen the VeggieTales version of dang it, Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yes,
off
yes,
work.
I have.
I'm still-
One guy saw a mommy horse.
Next week is my spring break. So that's gonna be really nice.
He gestures in, and you guys step
I
into
have
the
something
dining
to catch
hall.
up on, though.
That's a lot of food.
Yep.
Very nice.
The tables are all laid out. There's plenty of space to go sit down. You can see Skull Paddle noshing down on a bowl of seaweed soup.
Is there a young boy, perhaps with circle glasses and a lightning bolt scar on his forehead in this office?
You see a young man sitting with two of his friends, and like they see you guys come in, and they like look at each other and lean in and whisper.
I point at the three of them, the ginger, the scarred boy, and the hideous girl. And I go,
Those are our spots. Get out.
Make an intimidation.
We're the stars of this show.
Move it, nerd.
That is a 20 total.
Jesus. I was like roll against it.
I was gonna say I wanted to like help you
They're
with
like,
that.
okay, sorry, sir, and they all like get up and scuttle away.
Beat it, nerds.
Potter has no place here.
It's Perry Hotter.
Gross last name.
Oh, why?
So you guys pull up a seat, and sitting in front of you is this massive banquet of food.
I eat. Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
Let's
can I
eat.
do?
What do you want?
I don't trust anything. That
Can I do?
That's fair. That's
Can I
I
check for
wanna do, like,
poison?
some kind of-
Insight
yeah,
check
like
on the
investigation.
food.
You can make a medicine check. I think that would be.
No, is that what?
Or investigation or survival, something
Yeah,
involving
yeah, those would
intelligence.
work too.
Okay. It's a. Which one do you want me to do? Because that makes a
Whichever
difference.
one you would like to be most relevant. It could be any of those three:
Between insight.
investigation, medicine, or survival.
Okay. Okay, so definitely investigation. And it's a 20 above 20.
There doesn't seem to be any
23.
anything poisonous or mind altering at play.
I'm on my second chicken leg. Describe under me.
You turn and Fennec's just like baguette.
It's like as tall as me. I just like.
Okay. I take a cube of cheese and I
That's
eat
not
it.
even. That's not what I was
That's
going for.
so wrong.
I eat more cheese.
I've got this
And
problem
bread.
where like I'm being sincere, but I sound like I'm not. This entire college is that.
Perfect.
All right, Clint.
Yeah.
Alright. I begin to eat as well.
Yeah, you guys enjoy a meal. Eventually, Skull Paddle like walks over to you guys, and he's like,
Does
so?
he skull waddle?
He's Skull Scuttles.
Skull scuttle.
That's what the.
Yeah, you guys are getting some dinner. Good call. Good call.
Speaking of which, what time of day is it? Has the sun set or risen yet?
It was actually setting.
Okay.
So it is night by the time you finish eating.
I feel much better now.
Yes, the food was quite good.
I mean, the sun's gone.
Oh, that's less good, but I suppose you
The food
like
was
that.
fine.
All right, Mr. Pretty Prissy Pants over here.
Oh, you're a drow.
Yes.
Oh, this makes so much more sense.
Oh, that's why he didn't like my mirrors.
I'm glad you're.
And you guys
finally
gotten to
figuring it
see
out.
where all the campus goes to yet, or no? Are you just having some foods?
This is about as far as we've gotten.
Oh, cool. You want to see like the layout of the campus or whatever?
Yeah,
Is this orientation?
it'd probably be good to
It's
find.
like an informal orientation. All right,
Sure.
cool. He walks out of the dining hall and up a set of stairs to a balcony, and it's night, so you can't see much. But he reaches over, and there's a small knob that he adjusts. And as he does that, you can see from one of the spires these flares shoot out over the campus, and you can see.
Ooh.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Well
Ooh,
done.
John,
I
you
like
made
it.
this, didn't you? Ooh.
Yep.
Hey,
So it comes up with the words above all the things. That's
Yes.
pretty neat.
Hovering in front of it like a HUD. It's just like
Where
the
are
name.
we?
It's
You
like
guys
one of
are
those
here.
things, you know,
Ducktown.
like when you go to see a mountain and they have like at the viewpoint, they have the picture of the view and
Yes.
then it has the Yeah.
Pictures.
You know, you guys
are
know what
here.
I'm talking about.
But this is the campus for the Academy of Seudega.
All devoted. Say, oh my god, I spelled that so wrong.
That's okay.
Wow. I wrote SAY-GA-DAY-YA.
Phonetically, it's
Yeah, see, that's more important because
Say
you're gonna read it later.
You digga.
I was like the artist. I don't know what are we going for here.
But that is the campus. And as you look out,
What's with the resonance? Is that stuff there right now? Is
Yep.
that like?
yeah, you can see as you're looking at the Hall of Residence, this vast field where it's actually a massive field of red and blue flowers and like small crystals sticking up through it.
Interesting. I dig the
And
aesthetic.
we are in
The big green
the
building.
green
here.
building here in the middle.
Is that the Hall of Night?
The
Up on
main
the upper
campus.
right.
Is that where
This
we
one?
stay?
That's the Hall of Natura,
Yes.
Hall of the Devoted, Hall of Arcana, Hall of Shadow, Hall of the Mind, Hall of the Shield, Hall of Blades, and the Hall of Resonance.
So have we seen any other like students here besides
Oh, yeah.
Harry Potter?
Yeah, there were several like
Harry
walking
Potter,
around when
come
you guys
on.
were
Oh.
you guys were first heading
Harry
up
Potter?
to the main hall. You guys saw some other students walking around with very similar clothing.
Okay. So we have seen there's like lots of there's like people walking around.
Skull paddle.
Yeah.
One.
What are the
One
differences
Riesling?
between these buildings here that we
was hard to
see?
say.
Can you explain them to us?
Oh, sure. Well, each one will sort of be like a different place of different kinds of training. Here's your guys' schedules, and he hands them to you.
Oh God.
How do you know what I'm interested in? You don't know me!
I didn't make the schedules. I just gave them to you. Virio,
The other one was the other teenager.
Oh, I think my schedule's mixed up.
bright and early. Virio, Master Petra Dormel wants to see you. And Aurora, Master Snapclick wants to see you at the Hall of Resonance. And Roland, you need to report to the Hall of Arcania. And Fenric, you need to go to the Hall of Shields.
Wait, where is Petra Dormel?
The Hall of Blades.
I see. Why there?
I don't know. He just sort of make the schedules and I can pass them on to you guys. So, if you guys get up a little bit early, you can get some
Professor
breakfast.
Clickbait?
Snap, click.
Snap click.
It's close enough. Got it in one.
Wish I would have thought of that.
Oh, that's good.
Professor Snap Click.
No,
Yes.
please, that's my brother.
No, my brother. Professor Clickbait.
Don't trust anything.
Yes.
So,
He's been
Master
shown to
of
doctor his
illusion.
research.
Do you want to learn about illusion?
So, do you guys want to see like where your dorm rooms are and stuff? They're just down this hallway, and it's like an open walkway over to another wing of the castle where it's a big group of dorm rooms.
Yeah,
That'd
is
be nice.
the supplies area around here as well?
The what?
The supplies.
The
where,
supplies?
Where
Oh, where
the
your
storage,
stuff is.
where all of our stuff is.
That'll
Yeah.
be in your dorm rooms, you goose.
Oh,
Do we get
Okay.
our own rooms?
He's a halfling.
I suppose that for
he's a drow.
for the sake of you guys making your decisions for your dorm rooms, you can choose to whether or not you room with each other. If you do not room with each other, you will have a roommate
Oh.
that I will be portraying.
Does anyone want to be my roommate?
Yes, he wants to be my roomie.
Virio's case, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
Fury, you don't sleep, right?
I don't.
That'd be good. Then
I mean, I just woke up from a year-long nap.
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't really know anymore.
That's fine. Then I won't keep you up with all the girls I bring back.
You don't.
Right? That's how that goes.
I
Right?
put my hand.
Hey.
I put my hand on your shoulder and I tap it a few times. I'm like,
Sure, buddy. Sure.
I'm looking around like, yeah, it'll be different this time, right?
This time around, I'm gonna do it right.
Yeah,
Actually,
but-
wait. Do we have any memories of? We have all our like old memories, but not like skills.
You have memories of your life, but when it comes to like maybe you notice like how you've been moving, like
you've been a year and
like
not
you know
moving,
your sword swinging arm doesn't seem as strong, or like you don't feel as nimble, or
Yeah.
like you feel like you can access your spells, but like they're a bit weakened.
Thanks for
But
the
yes.
clarification.
You can let me know your decision for your roommate thing after we take a short break.
Cool.
Oh boy.
Yay!
So does anyone want to be my roommate?
Make that announcement. I'm very excited.
And we're
That's
back.
very
Yeah,
exciting.
that's awesome.
Woohoo! And we're back! Woo! Yay!
Yay, we're back!
Kelly's going back to college.
I'm officially going back to college.
Yeah.
Academy 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Kelly and Aurora are both in college.
Aurora's in college. Kelly's in college.
All right, so roommate decision.
Not any of these guys.
I call Terry.
Oh my god. You know what?
I
Fine.
just broke John.
I want you to have a pony for a roommate. 'Cause you have to clean his shit up.
I tried to be roommates with everything. I even tried to pay off. But they were like,
I
no,
didn't-
you don't have any money. And I was like, that's fair.
All right. So, gear-wise,
No one wants me.
as you step into your dorm rooms, Roland, you find your roommate, a tiefling. You notice he has several instruments hanging around the room.
I made a mistake.
Long black hair, wearing all black robes. He has his tabard on, but it's like he has like a bunch of like patches and like graffiti work on it.
What kind of instruments are there?
You see a lute, but you notice there's some strange sort of enchantment on it, like just sort of like wavering around where the strings are. It's just like this twitching energy.
I can already tell he's like a punk rocker, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You an emo tiefling for a roommate.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
So
As Sam, I love this. As Roland, I made a huge mistake.
Chucho's Virio.
he
Might
gives
have
like
been a
the
better idea.
upward nod as you come in, but like he doesn't say much to you as you sort of like look around. What you
Same to
find
him.
among your specialty items, you may have to remind me what you had on you. Your bow
Mm-hmm.
is not there.
Okay.
Your cloak and your amulet are.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Fenric,
Yes.
if you go into your stable, find a big bed of hay for Terry.
Oh god. Okay, I don't actually.
Too late. No backsies.
Oh no.
You find the other half of the room has your blade laid on it,
Okay.
and your armor, but your shield and javelin and amulet are not there.
Ooh, the amulet's gone.
So no shield, no javelin, no amulet.
Yep.
No either amulet?
Nope.
Shoot.
Okay.
Virio,
Ah!
as you walk into your dorm room, you see somehow a familiar figure.
Oh, fuck you!
Not him.
Oh, thank God.
No. That's what? No.
That's what I was waiting.
I was gonna be so mad.
That would have been me.
That would have been amazing.
You walk in and you see a figure that you met once in the Vale of June, who the last time you saw him was gushing over you. You see Father Athanasius.
I don't remember you.
Nice.
We met once in the Vale of June. I loved all your writings from the college. I've defected from the Dinar military after that fuck up in Core. I came here because I received a letter saying that they were looking for clerics to train, so here I am.
I see.
Loved all your work on the Aarakocra and the Vale of June.
Oh, that's fair. It's
Love
probably my
it.
best one.
I'm a huge fan, What are you training here in? Are you working on more writing? Or I was wondering if you're ever going to do a paper on anything that exists beneath the surface of the seas.
Well, apparently I'm enrolled in, and I look at my sheet and see the first thing on there, the Hall of Blades.
Going more for the combat side of
I guess. I don't know. I'm just here, man. Like, live and let live, you
Hey.
know?
Sounds good. He looks around and he's like, "Do you want to blaze a little bit?"
Blaze a little bit. Is that what you said? Oh. Wait, why are you holding your finger to your face?
I don't know how friendly our neighbors are. The college is cool with it, but our neighbors might be a little bit.
No, it's okay. We'll smoke. I'll cast prestidigitation. It'll smell great in a second.
You guys light up, and eventually you remember to try to cast prestidigitation, and
Nothing. Oh, fuck!
That's okay. I've got some bounce sheets we can put on the back of a fan
Well,
This is the best use of prestidigitation ever.
to clear out weed smell.
Oh man.
I'll burn some sage.
Aurora, you get to your room, and you walk in, and you see a gnome. Very, very small gnome, and she has a very, not to overuse the term, Spartan setup on her side of the room. It's just bed, like a few robes folded on top of a table, and then like a punching bag hung in the corner. And she is just working the shit out of the punching bag as you step in.
Damn, girl.
She stops for a second and looks over.
You're training hard.
Gotta train hard. Gotta be the best. And she turns back and starts.
Best there ever was.
Well, hi.
Kimmy!
I'm Aurora.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to the academy.
Most people used to know who I am, but things are seeming to change quite a bit.
That was cryptic. I like it. She stops punching the bag and walks over and shakes your hand.
I reach down very far.
She's like, well, I'll only be out for a little bit so we can get some shut-eye, but good luck at class in the morning.
Thank you.
She turns and works the bag for like another 15, 20 minutes or so, but eventually steps out, comes back after showering and plops down in bed, and you all find yourself having a restful evening. And as you fall asleep, you all level up. No.
Hey, that was quick.
Oh, we're level 1. Thank God.
You all level up to level 1.
I'd like to say that after my 4 hours of meditation, I'm gonna use my dagger. Are there any
The honey bunch.
tapestries or just any sort of fabric maybe on the walls in any of the?
In your room?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's poster board, wanted poster boards of various known minstrels.
Okay. Actually, I'll take the bed sheet. I want to cut off a little bit of it and find some way to sew myself a hood on this tunic.
Okay. Oh my god, okay. That's a challenging. Okay, so just go ahead and make a sleight of hand check to see if you're able to cut this fabric off without, like, are you cutting it off of, like, his stuff?
No, just my
yours?
bedsheet. I
Okay,
don't
well-
use my bedsheet. I don't need it.
So I'll just see if he notices
Okay.
in that case.
I'm a troll. I don't need bed sheets.
I just meditated for 4 hours and I'm fine. Sleight of hand?
Yep.
23. Man, what is it with the 23s?
All right.
We've had like 5 23s
Next.
tonight.
Oh, Joe, all the 23.
I know you ate that whole chocolate bar, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You ate
know.
too much chocolate. Now your tummy hurts.
My tummy hurts because I ate a lot of chocolate.
Kimmy pats you on the shoulder.
It's a real rough time, Kimmy.
Hey, there.
I was asleep
Have you ever
for a
tried
year.
punching your problems?
I want to know who my prospective roommate was.
Yes.
You'll find out in the morning. You'll find out.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead and make it just a dexterity check
Yes, come
for
on,
like
come on.
crafting this hood.
10.
10. Yeah, it's like a functional hood. It doesn't
Okay.
look good, but it functions as a hood.
Perfect, that's all I ask.
Okay.
God damn.
Morning comes up. I mean, the sun comes up and it's morning. And you all head down
again.
to grab some breakfast. You see Skull Paddle wave at you, and he's sitting next to like a very like burly-looking human man with long blonde hair, sort of like a wispy blonde chin beard.
You messed out. I missed out.
Almost like bursting out of his tabard, and he gives you guys an upper head nod, and he goes, "Hello, you must be Fenric. Heard you wanted to room with your pony instead of old Brent Clefchin, hey?"
Brent!
You should have roomed with Brent.
Yeah.
Kind of rad.
Brent!
I would have made it work, but I can't share a room with a horse.
Well,
Brent,
oh my goodness.
Cute.
Damn right he is.
Denim Renum.
If you're like, basically, like picture like WWE slash like AFL football player, like kind of like handsome but in a douchebaggy way.
Okay. Just thought I'd check.
Yeah, I mean he's ripped.
It's just annoying.
Yes, super annoying.
I'm gonna have to go work out with him.
Or
You
one or
get
the other.
swole.
But anyways, I was just noshing down on these 12 eggs and literally nothing else. We're heading off to class. You guys have a good first day of school. And he stands up and just walks away like high-fiving random people as he leaves.
Oh my goodness. It's at moments like this that I like have to reflect back on what Fenric's backstory has become. Like, accidentally. Okay.
Oh man.
You all-
that Brent reminds me of someone. I just not sure who.
Someone
Back from the olden times.
Right.
Skull Paddle takes his time finishing his breakfast, but he leads each of you individually to your first class. First up, Virio.
Ah!
You
I just hate it when people say my name.
you are led to the Hall of Blades,
Videos.
Right
just
there.
south of the campus.
Work for surprise.
And as you walk into this somewhat beaten up looking room, you see a human sparring with Brent Clefjaw.
Is that Brent?
No, this is
The human.
yes.
That's Brent. No.
I don't have art for Brent
What?
yet.
That's a shame.
You didn't have enough ink to draw all
Yes.
of his muscles.
I don't know how to draw glistening.
There's just too much man.
Just had 2 pictures and put those
You
together.
see Brent carrying this huge club, and he's swinging it down at this human who's not carrying any weapons or a shield or anything, and he's just standing there and evading Brent's attacks. And eventually, Brent swings his club around, and the human catches it and twists it around and catches Brent in the jaw and then pushes him down onto the ground and puts a foot on Brent's throat. He says, I told you. Use your defense for your offense. And he pushes him off. He's like, you,
Me.
new recruit.
I'm Virio.
What's your name?
Dr. Virio Tompkins.
Brilliant.
Nice to meet you. Are an intimidating fellow.
Grab a weapon off the rack.
Wait, any weapon?
Any weapon you choose.
Oh.
And you can see like a vast array of various weaponry.
I
sitting on
see.
the rack.
Like a cheese grater.
Um,
1
like,
hour
so,
later.
so what is at my disposal on this rack, question-wise?
Pretty much like any melee weapon you could imagine. There are pole arms, there are falchions, there are long swords, short swords,
Oh.
swords.
Gunblades, thank God.
Are there bayonets?
All manner of
That's for my sword.
bayonet swords, yes.
Bayonet swords.
All manner of melee weapons.
You just like strap it to your hand, and it's like, there you go.
Mm.
You should just knock all the weapons off and use the rack. that's what Brent should do next
It's
time.
called a weapon rack, right?
Yeah.
It's a weapon.
Man, those
Rack.
are too many options.
I know, it's a very broad question.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna go based off my mini.
This is not a permanent choice. This
Okay,
is just-
Virio will go ahead and grab a war pick because that is what he is used to wielding.
Perfect.
Ready to make a 10-second decision that's going to shape the...
your entire
War pick,
picture.
war
I
pick, war
mean,
pick, war
you
pick.
just roomed with your horse.
Pick, pick, war pick.
Well,
That's
So-
That will be a long-term decision of Brent's final big band. You didn't want to be my roommate.
As I was saying that, I was like, well, yeah, I do that all the time.
that's fair.
Yeah. Whoops.
He's like, all right, step into the circle.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So what are we doing here?
Ooh, oh boy. Yeah. Oh my.
You two are standing. Go ahead and grab your Vireo.
Do I have?
Grab your Vireo, Vireo.
do
What's
I-
a Vireo?
So with this war pick, do I have my shield at all, or just this war pick?
You can grab a shield as well if you'd like.
Oh yes, I would like to grab a shield. Thank
Okay.
you. I feel naked without it,
The two of you stand in this Coliseum.
and I have no armor.
Correct.
Okay, just wanted to know what my stats are.
Yep.
Cool.
What's your base armor without
Don't-
armor?
Don't worry about it. Not great.
I meant like...
Just in general.
Yeah.
Oh, mine is 13 without armor.
I meant like calculation. How does calculate
Dex
that?
mod.
Oh, it's
10 plus
your
dex.
dex plus your 10.
Okay.
Unless you have something.
Dex plus your 10.
Unless you're like a Vireo.
Thank you.
Music going here.
Okay. Cool.
I love this music.
It's time to play the music. It's time to let the lights.
This is the best music.
It looks like tattooing to me. I have that stuck in my head from like.
All right, the other
playing
students all
Battlefront.
sort of stand around this giant fallen statue of a head leaning up on it. And Petra Dormel holds out his hands and he says, let's see what you're made of.
I'm not made of much, I guess.
Calm now.
What? That's gross.
And
Now!
I guess Virio will gingerly walk up.
Who's
I
Ginger?
just picture you just like,
Okay.
And I get up right in front of him, and I'm like,
So what now?
attack me.
Are
Blonde
you
Riesling
sure?
with some-
I'm
Like,
sure.
who said ginger?
I attempt to hit him with the war pick.
Okay.
I attempt.
Are those
that
characters
is a
canonical
19.
A 19.
Wait, no, false. That is much higher than a 19. That is a plus. What is that? Plus 4 to hit. So that's
Okay, so
actually 21.
Wow.
You swing around and like you catch his armor and like it hits him and like he like gives you like a surprised look and he's like, not bad. And he punches at you.
That's fair.
The second one hits. The first one you managed to duck out of the
You
way.
don't know my AC. It's 15.
I rolled a 14.
Okay, that's fine, I guess.
He swings around and catches you in the stomach, and he's like, "How was that?"
That hurt a little bit.
He's like, "All right, again."
Well, again, fine. Virio winds up and
Does not hit.
Swings
It's
out of the
an
way.
8, or not even 8, a 6.
Right. He uses a reaction to attack you as you miss. That'll hit. This time, he didn't deal damage the first hit, but this time he deals 7 points of damage.
Oh God.
Again!
Why? Why is this the training? This doesn't feel like training.
Come on! Dig deep again!
I tried to hit him again. Oh shit! That is a 23 to hit.
Okay, as you swing around this time, your blade connects, and something surges up from within you. You feel this extra power beneath you. What do you do?
I would like to rage.
Yeah! You feel this energy brimming through you as you feel this ancient natural energy just pulsing through your body, your eyes. How does it manifest?
As Virio's standing there, he still has a lot of his like elderly tendencies of being like hunched over, not so mentally with it. But as he begins to rage, like normally he's standing about 5 foot
Just in his
11 or so when he's hunched over. But like as he begins to rage, he just like and like his back is straightening up and he's like 6'3" at this point. His eyes just turn a little bit brighter than they normally are with their dull gray. They're more of like a brighter white at this point. And he has the wings that are more or less hidden behind his back that used to be kind of these like broken frail wings that you can maybe catch at a glimpse. They shine a little bit brighter and stronger now.
Perfect.
Yeah. So he's raging.
And he says, "Good. Again."
Virio attacks again then. Fuck, God, I'm rolling good. That is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, you swing it around and like you catch him in the shoulder. You see it dents his armor as you bring your blade down. And he puts up a hand and he says, "Enough."
Virio strikes him again. Natural 20.
Alright.
Kill the professor!
As you ring it around this time, like you swing it around and just catches him in the chest and just collapses his chest plate in. And he looks up at you and he's like, "Alright." And you see his eyes blaze white. And he is now raging and he is going to attack. This guy's a multi-class.
Yes. Awesome. As it should be.
Alright, first attack missed like nobody's business, but the second one's definitely going to hit. And he hits you for 7 points of bludgeoning, which is halved.
Nice.
So 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Virio's going to yell at Rubton to swing in from behind from
Alright.
the skies to assist him with this attack.
Alright.
Nice.
Yeah, so roll your attack with advantage.
It's already great. There's already a 19 and a 1, so
Oh.
19
Oh,
plus
it's
some.
Whatever,
Yeah.
okay, it hits.
Add them together.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're somehow just pummeling this guy's armor, and like he's taken the damage. Like he doesn't seem that phased by it, but like you get the impression like the other students that now that you're kind of glancing over, like you see they've been doing this since like before sunup, and they're all pretty battered. And he looked fine when you walked in.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's finally like he looks like he's showing signs of like actually taking some hits.
Okay.
Then he steps back and he takes a stance and he stands waiting for you to attack again.
As he waits for me to attack, I feel like I've done enough fighting that I recognize what he's trying to wait for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I'm going to take the opportunity to heal myself 1 hit points with my own healing ability naturally.
Okay.
So as he steps back, I also step back and then just place my hands on myself and just heal 1 hit point.
All right. He raises an eyebrow and grins, but he just stays standing.
I'm like, all right. And then I just strong whistle. Can't do it. But then Rupton swings around and attempts.
All right.
To,
I need Rupton to make a wisdom saving throw before he deals damage.
that is a. Luckily, I still have his stats. Oh snap! 15.
15 just barely misses the save.
Oh.
So his attack misses and he swings out and catches Rupton in his hand and he pulls him in front of him and he tosses him over to the side. And then you see him close the gap between the two of you and you see him almost blur with his motion as he attacks you, and you see him land while attack. 1, 2. That's cocked.
I've heard that before.
What was your AC again?
It is currently 15.
Alright, so 2 of them hit as he does a flurry of blows on you. 4.
I'll tell you what, I'm probably going to go down.
As he deals 12 points.
Yeah,
of
no, I'm
damage.
down.
You fall unconscious and you are unconscious for a few minutes and you are awoken by Petra Dorel, and he is leaning down and he pulls you up onto your feet and he says, "Well done. Most of these dipshits can't even swing a sword properly, and you using a bird and a war pick."
That's what I'm used to.
It was impressive.
Oh, thanks, I guess. Sorry about your armor.
Don't worry.
I don't know what happened to me back there. I kind of lost it for a bit.
It seems you may have access to rage that you didn't know about.
I mean, I spent my life studying the barbarian cultures within the Vale.
You must have learned something from them.
I guess so. But, I'm just sorry about your armor.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He laughs and he's like, "All right, and which one of you whelps is up again? Maybe you can learn a thing from this old timer." And you spend the rest of the day in this arena training and honing in your barbarian abilities.
How many times does he get knocked out?
Just 2 or 3 as the day
Okay.
goes on, but each time it takes a little bit longer.
Nice.
All right, and that will be Virio's training for the day. Next up is Aurora.
Upstairs.
Aurora.
I want to make sure. Mr. Click Snap. Snap Click.
There you go.
Professor
Clickbait.
Snap Click.
That was. It was.
Professor Clickbait.
Professor Snapchat clickbait.
Professor Bendit
Professor
Snap.
Kit Kat.
Courtesy of Ryan on that one. That was his.
Too
good.
You are led down from the main campus. Skull Paddle walks you through the area you were in earlier. Here, I can actually pull the map up again as well.
I'm going to the flower gardens.
Oh, well, that's Master Snap Click.
One of them Kenku.
Oh yeah. You are led past the campus to the northwest, and as you walk away down the hill, you can begin to see this strange land formation before you. You see this huge meadow, which has all manner of like red and blue flowers everywhere, with a thin path leading through them. Skull Paddle trudges along, kind of humming to himself, and you come to what is this basically a large opened stage. Sitting in one of the corners, you can see a few students plucking away at harps and lutes. You see a drow sort of like in the background, like trying to like get like a dun 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 on what is clearly an overdrived lute. But every time he does, you see this small huddled Kenku shake their head, and he like lays the enchantment and plucks along like it's like a fancy elvish tune.
Wait, is that the tiefling?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
As you approach this hunched figure, you see they have all sorts of small bags or pouches connected to their main robe, and a lot of thin golden chains cover the beak and the hood and the robes. And as you approach, Skull Paddle gives you a nod and says, "Okay, here's Master Snap Click. She's the shiny one up there." And then he turns around and walks back through the flowers. What do you do?
I approach Professor Snap Click.
All right. As you approach, they look over to you.
Hello.
Hello.
I am supposed to meet you for my first lesson.
Supposed to meet you for lesson. She gestures over to a desk which has a pad of writing on it.
Is that a magical item?
I
The
look
pad
at
of writing.
the
Yes.
pad of writing to see what it is.
You sit down on this desk and you see this page before you which has just one phrase written across the top of it, and it says confession.
That's all it says.
Yep. What do you write?
Professor Snap Click, what am I supposed to do with this?
Here for lesson.
I once licked a rock. Circle.
There's a poster hanging in the corner that says Fenric Trill, initiate, known rock licker.
Is this private?
Here for lesson.
Okay.
John,
Shit, that was good.
is that an anagram?
You. Here for lesson. Meet you. Here for lesson.
I grab a quill of some kind, writing utensil, and I write on the pad trying to
Wind
think of how
blows.
to word it. I write disregard for those who care. That's what I write.
She walks over, looks over it, tears the page away, and on the page beneath it you can see it says confession. It says lesson here. And she walks away. And it just reads confession across the top of the paper.
Am I supposed to keep writing on it?
Seems like it.
So I write on it again.
What do you write?
I write greed on the sheet.
She walks over, looks at it, tears it off the page, and walks away.
Say confession at the top. This is bogus! Roar says that! This doesn't help me do anything.
This is lesson. Help you. Lesson.
I've never done anything wrong! No, I'm just kidding. That wasn't Aurora.
What were you watching on vacation? Damn, this is
Yeah, this is like
This is deep.
dark.
this is torture
Aurora's
shit going on.
kind of, I mean, she was pretty shitty.
You play an evil character, you get ramifications.
That must
Alright,
suck, you
right.
guys.
I punch Fenric in the head. It hurts me more than it hurts
A
him.
phantom fist from like a mile away, just.
Well, that's good. Let's do
Alright.
with Brent.
Help
She,
me.
she writes,
Lesson.
I have to deal with the rest of you.
help me.
Lesson.
True.
Aurora writes, I mean, like, how specific do you want me to be?
You're speaking to a bird folk who can only say what you have said to them.
It's like a mirror, but with words.
Gosh, it's more mirrors.
I'm noticing a trend.
I'm noticing a motif.
Maybe it's a nursery.
Could be a motif.
It's almost like John puts time into this or something.
Okay, since we all know
Notes,
Aurora's
motherfucker.
we know Aurora's backstory, so she just starts to write.
Okay.
She just like keeps going, and I'm not going to say everything.
What are the highlights? What are the bullet
The
points?
bullet points are her.
I'm sorry.
You guys are the worst.
I know.
Like her stealing books, artifacts, that sort of thing. Her rise to her parent and how she treated her parents and what she did to them in order to take over their company. She didn't actually physically harm them in any way, but like she like mentally destroyed them to take over the company. And then she like put them in a crazy folks home. That was very nice, and they were treated very well, but like not
Were?
well.
Maybe,
Are.
possibly.
I don't know, it's been
Time's
a year.
up.
I don't know where
Time
they are.
has-
It's been a year. We don't know.
She writes down that one time she said something mean to Fenric, and he looked hurt afterwards. And she actually did notice that he kind of looked hurt afterwards, but she never apologized. That was the last thing that she wrote.
You only wrote down the one time that happened.
She only wrote down one time that happened. She said one time this happened.
I was just teasing.
I know.
Want to make sure you weren't hurt there.
she...
Oh, and then she like murdered somebody once on a
On a dare.
That was on a dare.
It was like one
We
of the
were in
first.
college.
No, it was like one of the first episodes of
Experimenting.
Period, where like
Oh, yeah.
destroying people together.
So
Kinda
romantic.
Feels bad about that.
As it goes.
This time, as she walks over,
She gave Amber to like
Warlords.
a warlord, and then they destroyed the earth.
This time
That
she-
happened too.
As you've been writing, it's taken a few pages. Each one has said confession, confession, confession. Every time. This time when she walks over, she reaches down and pulls the pages off. And it reads, "Who are you?"
Aurora starts to cry.
She puts a hand on your shoulder. And she says, "Help you."
I don't think I can be helped.
Can be helped. Lesson. And she steps away.
I'm actually really sad right now.
Let me cheer you up with this time. It's been stuck in my head since episode 1.
Oh no.
No.
I'm getting a copyright strike.
Here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Nope. It's stuck in my head. It's episode goddamn 1, so we started dealing with that dragon. This is episode 1. Just like Amber, yes, the color of my energy.
Yes.
Yep, every time I hear Amber, I'm like,
I'm gonna go smuggle the dog now. You go on to one of their stories.
I can't
Roland's
play
is
more
gonna
than
be
that or it's
uplifting.
copyrighted.
We're not
Sean.
done yet.
You get
Not
30
done yet.
seconds.
It just says, "Who are you?"
I just write Aurora, but with no last name or anything. Just Aurora.
And she says, "Aurora, help." And she sets something on the desk in front of you. It's a small, ornate wooden box with a lid that flips up. There's a hinge on the back.
I open it.
Okay. You open it, and you see a small dial on the inside. Like a twisting key dial.
So I twist it.
Okay. And it begins to play just a very simple tune on it. And you feel something resonate from the music box into you. And she steps forward kind of with her arms close and just all of a sudden reaches into her belt and stabs a sword into the desk and says, "Lesson,"
Oh man.
and gestures towards the sword.
I pull the sword out of the desk.
As you pull it
Very-
off, you can feel the resonation from this music box vibrating through you. You can feel it shaking the blade, and you see this energy resonating within the blade. And she nods and says, "Lesson to help you." And that's where your training session ends today.
Now I'm going to write the music box on my sheet.
holy shit.
Yeah, that was. Oh boy.
Did you write the music box
Yep.
stuff? That was
Nice.
really
Did you
pretty.
really
That was
write that?
good.
Yeah.
That was
oh,
awesome.
so good! I want a copy of that for
Some going.
myself.
Yes.
Alone time.
I wasn't gonna say it. Oh no.
You're the worst!
You're welcome.
You're welcome!
All of our
I'm gonna go snow
Kana,
the dog now and
Arcadia,
be
stuff like that.
sad,
All right.
but also
Okay.
happy.
And also,
I did it.
Oh,
I made more than just me cry.
The ultimate achievement of a DM.
I'm crying. Are you crying? No.
I'm not
Pay
crying.
attention.
I'm not crying.
Shut up!
All the emotions there if you just
I've
listen.
been awake and working since 4:30. Leave me alone!
I can't handle it.
Oh man, that was rough.
The music box just plays. Here comes the sun.
Come here, buddy.
Roland, as you walk
No
to
more emotions.
Bender.
the Hall of Arcania, you walk south and you see Ducktown to the south. And you see probably the strangest building on campus. You see what is very clearly a tall, solitary tower. But you notice that there is a set of broken stairs leading up to it, and these stairs hover in the air as you lead up to the door, with broken cliffside beneath it. And as it hovers, you see the tower is broken in two at the center from the base up to the top.
But it's all just hovering there.
It is all just hovering there, held in place by some kind of magic.
Fantastic.
As you approach, Skull Paddle kind of looks nervously at like the tenuous stairs, and he says, there you go. It's that way. So good luck finding. You're looking for Master Tresk True Light. She's up there somewhere.
Master Tresk.
Yes. You'll find her up there somewhere, probably towards the top. Have to do a bit of a climby poo to get up there, but you'll be fine. And he turns and walks back towards the academy.
I'll start going on up.
Okay. You make your way up these stairs. It's like very nervy, very like the stairs like look like if you step onto them, they're gonna just fall right out beneath you. But
Sure.
they hold in place. There's a little bit of a bounce when you step onto them, but they hold. And you make your way up to the door. As you get to the door where you see a knocker with a face on it.
Is it trapped?
Check for traps.
It's investigation.
Yeah.
13.
It doesn't seem like there's a trap on it, but you do notice something weird about the knocker. Like, it's standing there, and it's like like an old man's face.
Oh,
And as you're standing there, like, looking around at it, like, you see, like,
Those knockers are shit kind of funny.
Hello?
What a strange pair of knockers!
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
I'm gonna fondle this knocker.
The knocker's like.
I'll.
as you pull, like, the ring to raise it to knock, it slips out of their mouth. You go, finally! It's been there for decades. Welcome, sir.
Do you need this back?
I'd really rather you didn't.
No? I'll hang on to it. I was told to meet with a
Tresk.
Master Tresk.
Master Tresk True Light.
That'd be
Very
one.
good. You come from the academy, I presume.
Indeed.
Very good. And the door opens inward.
Okay, I'll walk in.
As you walk in, you see all manner of crazy-looking experiments in different glass jars, beakers. You see tanks with, like, brackish, weird fluids in them with, like, preserved bodies of different creatures, and a winding staircase that leads up.
I'll go up the staircase.
Right? You make your way up, and you eventually come to the crack in the tower. There is a thin rope ladder, which you are able to climb up, and you get to the topmost segment of the tower, and you see Master Tresk True Light.
Fantastic.
She stands with her back to you, and she's pouring over different experiments, like with tiny vials. She's like mixing them together and like watching a reaction, scribbling a note, mixing them together, watching a reaction, scribbling more notes. She doesn't even notice you come in.
Okay. I'll. What else is up here?
You see some more preserved artifacts, things like that. There's what looks to be a few puzzle boxes sitting on one of the velvet cushioned stanchions. You see different skeletons. Some look weirdly like humanoid to keep in a thing, but like they're like up on display. And yeah, that's pretty much them. Just filled with all sorts of like questionable content.
I'd like to look at one of the puzzle boxes, just see if I can figure that out real quick.
As you walk over, you pick up. Are you picking up? There are 3 of them sitting on this platform. There's one that is like a pyramid shape, one that is a perfect sphere, and then one that looks like a Rubik's cube, basically.
Go with the sphere.
Okay. You pick it up. Are you attempting to be quiet about it, or?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check to see if you pick it up.
Oh my goodness. 12.
12. Be your passive. She wouldn't notice that, so
Okay.
you're able to just barely pick it up. Like she pauses for a second, but then goes back to what she's doing.
Cool.
So as you hold this sphere in your hand, you can see 2 very thin, faint lines that make an X. So you'd be able to twist it here. Which way do you go? Do you twist it to the right or to the left?
Left.
Okay, as you twist it to the left, you notice that the candle lights in the room all change to blue.
Can I go left again?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that.
They change to green.
Right.
As you turn it back, this time they snuff out, but then the fireplace ignites in the room.
Well, that's curious. I'll just put
She
it back.
stops and she looks over her shoulder.
I was told to.
Who the hell told you you could touch my things?
No one.
Don't touch my things. Don't ever touch my things. Who the hell are you?
Name's Roland. I was told to meet with a Master Tresk.
They keep sending me these new students. What's your specialty? What are you, wizard, warlock? What are you looking to be? You've got some innate magic, I assume. You're looking. She like walks up to you and like grabs your jaw and looks at you. Clearly a drow. So you've got some innate magic within your bloodline. What are you looking to be?
I suppose the wizarding arts.
You're looking to dive into the arcane.
Yes.
What do you know of the arcane? What have you done in the past? What's your background?
Mostly snuffing it out.
So you've worked in prevention of the arcane.
Yes.
And you're looking to expand your abilities within the arcane now.
Indeed.
Seems counterproductive, but okay. She points you over to.
I love this character, like the voice.
Awesome.
She points over to what is a fairly basic-looking spell book, and she says, "Find a cantrip."
Okay, I'll go flip through it.
What cantrip do you find?
Let's just go with Firebolt.
Firebolt? Okay. As you look at it, she's like, "Have you cast a spell before?"
Yes.
Perfect. She snaps her fingers, and 3 dummies appear at the far end of the room.
Fenric goes, not me!
3 Fenrics pop up at the end of the room and they go, "Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?"
I've been waiting for this for so long.
I want you to picture a figure that you truly hate, despise with all your might. In your dreams, he haunts you, and you want to burn his face alive. No, and she gestures. She's like, "All right, fire."
I do, or I try.
Okay, go ahead and roll it out.
I rolled a 7. What am I adding there?
What's your intelligence modifier?
3.
Okay, you roll, and like you see these sparks come out of your hand, and like this small bolt of fire extends just like 3 or 4 feet from your hand, but then sort of fades out. She shakes her head and goes, "Do you have an arcane focus on you?"
No. Never needed one before.
She turns and she walks away, and she starts ruffling through a bunch of different drawers, throwing different things on the floor, and she eventually reaches in and she digs out what is a small amulet which seems to be almost like an ivory carving of what seems to be what you almost recognize as a symbol for Lolth. You see like a very ornate, small gems inlaid symbol for Lolth, which is like a spider.
Mhm.
And she walks over, you puts it on you, and she's like, "Okay, again."
Let's go again. So plus int mod.
Yep.
11.
11. This time it goes further, and it actually like manages to scorch the figure, and she's like, "Okay, really focus. Why do you want to know magic?"
To enhance my.
No. Give me the bullshit answer. Why do you want to learn magic? Knee-jerk reaction. 1, 2, 3. Why?
I need to take down my old mentor.
You need to kill somebody.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Probably a lot of somebody's.
All right.
I shouldn't say that.
Don't worry about it. I don't care.
I'll
Instructor
try
student
again.
confidentiality.
He's like, one more time.
Total of 20.
As you blast this one out, the dummy just incinerates, and she turns to you and like the fire's like burning in her like spectacles, and she's like, "Brilliant. You've got potential. What was the name again?"
Roland.
Roland. Excellent. She turns and she walks back towards her desks, and she's like, "So this person you need to kill. Why do you need to kill him?"
He kind of caused. Is there like a window?
Yeah, this tower is like kind of like a circular window about yay big, sort of facing the like north, south, east, west.
Okay. I'll look out and kind of look at the pillar of.
Darkness.
Yeah, and just kind of. Well, he kind of caused that.
She looks at it. She looks at you. Good luck. And she turns back and walks away and starts going back to what she was doing before. And she's like, "You have any more questions?"
I'm gonna throw the dagger that I picked up at the target.
Okay.
That is a total of another 20 total.
Yeah, you like bury it in the heart of the fucking thing, and she kind of pauses and looks over her shoulder and she says, "You may have some hope just yet.
That is the idea.
So what's your plan then? Become good at magic? Become good at throwing that dagger and go waltz in?
There's a bit more to it than that.
What did this fellow do besides cause that?"
Well, he's ravaged his way across continents, destroyed civilizations.
What did he do to you?
One of those cities was mine.
He burned down your city.
Could say that.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Can't say I'm not without my wrath. I've burned out a few goblin holes in my days, but
Goblins.
pesky bastards. What
That's
did he?
stating it.
What was he looking for when he burned down this town?
You know, I don't think that it was ever brought up. I was just thought he was looking to wipe out the Fey ancestry that lived there.
Sort of a magic removal process then.
That's kind of his whole deal.
If magic lives in the blood, you can't wipe it out yet. Sorry, I'm talking to nobody. Well, your amigo that you're trying to take out's an idiot. I'll do what I can to help you knock him out. You seem to got the dagger bit down. You can do some work on the magic. Tell you what, let's have one more go. And she gestures to a pile of scrolls that are sitting on there, and she hands you one that says Fireball on it.
Ooh.
And she says, "Fire that at those bastards." And like some fresh dummies pop up.
All right. I'll do that.
It's just like cartoonish Roland or Fenric logos. It's just like.
Do I need to roll for
Roll an intelligence check.
Intelligence check.
With advantage.
Oh, with advantage? Okay.
Yeah.
15.
15. You read the arcane writings on this scroll and it turns into flames in your hand. You've got this power whirling through your hands, something you've never really experienced. You've seen Kismet do it, and you've seen Aurora do similar motions to control these elements, but you've never done it yourself. And you turn and you throw this fireball, and the entire far end of the room just explodes in a blaze. And she like nods her head and goes, "You got some potential in you.
That was exhilarating.
Fire's fun." And she snaps her fingers and like this rainstorm starts in on the ceiling and like puts out the fire. She goes, "This tower's already seen a few too many accidents if you can't tell already."
I would imagine.
Now, when you kill this fella, what's the game plan after that? Revenge is a funny thing. You get it and then you don't know what to do afterward. Do you have a contingency plan? Well, if you don't kill him?
I haven't thought that far ahead.
What if you can't kill him?
I don't think that's an option.
Sometimes not having an option brings forth new options.
True.
But I tell you what. Come back tomorrow. We'll keep training. Get you some more spells under your belt and see what we can do.
Fantastic.
She pats you on the shoulders like, if you need to read through any spell books or anything, feel free. And she sort of like goes back to her original MO when you entered the room, and it's just like completely swept up in whatever it is. Like,
Cool.
she's like muttering to herself, like she seems to have the like workings of like an insane person, but is also very like focused and knows what she's doing.
A very intelligent, slightly crazy
Yes,
person.
slightly unhinged.
So like Virio, but smart.
But what?
Yes. And that's how you spend the rest of your day.
Cool.
Fenric.
Hello.
Skull Paddle leads you to
You feel very warm.
the southwest. somewhere
My
in the distance.
face hurts.
Feel fire. You walk down to a past all those like steam vents you saw in the ground, the cracking as you first made your way to the academy, and you see what almost looks like just a small like what are they called? Like a mausoleum.
Okay.
Just a small, simple stone building with a door. And Skull Paddle says, "And you go, you find your way to Hall of Shields there."
I will. Oh,
Hall of Shields, just in there.
I thought you said something different.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
cool.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Thanks. You too. I mean,
I will.
yeah.
I'm
You know
going to
when
do
it's
it
almost
soon.
there, but
Goodbye. And he turns around and like walks away. As you open the door, immediately you are met with this blast of heat.
nice.
You step down, and you eventually make your way down these stairs to this room.
Oh boy.
And you see several stern-looking students in here, mainly Goliaths, Minotaurs, things like that. But none of them compare to the one who is clearly the instructor. She towers above the rest of them, and you see the fire giant.
Whoa.
Master Kus Dorel, the shield shatterer. She stands in front of one of the students, holding out this massive tower shield which circulates with magma inside of it. And you see 2 or 3 students just pummeling away at it, trying to attack her, and she throws her shield and they go flying back into the stone. And as they pick themselves up, she looks over and she goes, "Ah, Trill!
Hi, I'm Fenric.
Hello, Fenric. You have come to training. Perfect timing. These sops were just cleaning themselves up. Now please, step into my ring." And she steps into the magma right here, and she wants you to stand here.
Okay. Where me at?
Yeah.
Can I get an approximate height on the next tallest person in this room? The next shortest person in this
The
room?
next shortest person.
Yeah.
You see a fairly burly looking half elf that's approximately like, just about 6 feet tall,
Yeah, okay.
but not quite.
Yeah, okay.
So everyone here is at least twice your height.
Yes.
How big is Miss Giant?
She towers at easily like 15, 20 feet. She's huge.
What?
Yes.
5
Okay.
Fenrics.
Okay.
You're like hitting her ankles.
Yeah.
And she
Yep.
sets the shield down in front of her and she says, "Do what you must to hold your ground." And she shoves forward. What do?
I shove back.
Okay, make a strength check.
16.
Little Fenric's taking a dive.
You are pushed back 5 feet. She trudges forward as well. If you could pop her up to 5 feet. She shoves forward again. She says, "Do what you must to hold your ground." And she shoves forward again.
How big is the shield?
The tower shield is roughly as tall as she is.
Yeah, and like quite wide as well.
Yeah.
I would not be able to get around that shield.
Probably not, no.
Okay.
What do you have at your disposal?
I have myself.
Wrong. She shoves again. Make a strength check.
Oh, Jesus. 18.
Nope, she shoves you back another 5 feet. She, this time she throws you and you fall just off the edge of the cliff and she catches you. And she brings you back over and she says, "What do you have at your disposal?" And she slams her shield down in front of her again.
I don't know.
Think!
I have my heart.
Have what you have in this room. And she shoves forward. Make a strength check.
Is Terry in this room?
No.
Damn. Oh, that is a 12.
Nope, she knocks you back 5 feet.
Oh boy.
She slams the shield down. She says, "What is in this room?"
The heat. That's some lava.
She steps forward and shoves you. Make another strength check.
I don't like this puzzle. 14.
Nope. Knock back another 5 feet.
I'm on this side. At this point.
I'm a run.
Oh jeez.
She steps forward again and she says, "Who is in this room?"
I don't know. Is Brent in this room?
You do not see Brent,
Okay.
but you do see the other students standing around.
Can I say I have them?
She grins and she says, "Again." And she steps back and allows you to do something. What would you like to do?
I ask for aid from the other students.
Make a persuasion check.
That is a statement, not a question. It came out as a question. Because he is not sure about what he's doing. A persuasion check.
Yep.
What do you say?
That is a 16.
Okay. What do you say?
Hey guys, mind lending a hand?
They sort of look around at each other and smirk, and they all jump up, like, despite their, like one of them has, like, a huge, like, bruise on the side of his face. One of them's, like, burned across his neck. But they all jump up and step next to you, and they lock shields with you. And she slams her shield down. Make a strength check with advantage.
2 ones.
Yeah, right.
16. 2 ones.
She gains no ground on you. Go ahead, make another strength check because she shoves again.
That's right, boys. We got her this time. Advantage?
Yep.
Nat 20.
You all shove. God, the dice have been doing me good narratively tonight. You all shove, and she, like, flings her shield aside and it clatters to the ground. And she drops the warhammer in her other hand. And the other students, like, shove you on the shoulders, and they're like, it took us a while to get it too. Strength in numbers. There are always allies at your disposal, Trill. You are never alone. Do you have questions?
Less questions and more kicking myself is the feeling. But I imagine it's a tough first lesson for everyone to learn.
And that is why you are here. To learn. Again! And you all line up and you spend the rest of the afternoon toiling away at shoving this massive giantess back and forth across this room. And end of the day, you all reunite back in the dining hall. Aurora goes to bed right away because she's very tired. She's had an emotionally trying day. And as you all make your way to bed, Skull Paddle comes skittering down the hallway and he's like, they're back! They're back! They're awake! And they're back!
Who's back?
They're your friend, the pale one!
I have lots of
A
friends.
child with long white hair!
Kismet's awake.
Oh, Kismet!
Yes, that's the one! They're back with the dean!
Oh, I see. She goes.
Where?
Oh, down in the dean's office!
Oh, I see.
Where are we? Are we in the cafeteria right now?
Yeah, but...
Okay, shove some more food in my mouth.
Okay! I'm hungry too. It's been a long day. I had to pet like 25 rabbits today.
You have an interesting life.
Man, I wish I was a druid now.
Druid school's way easier. Be cool with nature.
Your hands are so chafed, I imagine.
Oh, not really. They're kind of scaly.
My God, I think we should probably go down and check out Kismet.
Okie dokie, you can grab the food if you're still hungry and want to bring it with you.
I just bring a few pieces of bread, and Rutin's like pecking on both my shoulders as I'm trying to eat it as well.
Excellent. You all race down, and as you're led by Skull Paddle, you actually run down back into that volcanic room through the Hall of Shields, and you see that there's a small outline in the rock formations in the Hall of Shields that you didn't notice before. And the Skull Paddle knocks on it, and it slides out and over to the side, and you walk into a room, and you see Kismet laying on a table. And that is where we'll end the session tonight.
Don't eat her, you savages!
We'll be back next week with Kismet. Regular time, 6 p.m. Central. And then the week after that, we will be getting into our next one-shot series with Ryan, where we will all be Gobbo folk.
It's gonna be terrible and amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, goblins. The worst, but the best.
God bless them.
God bless those terrible monsters.
Those shitty gnomes.
God bless them, everyone.
Awesome job tonight, guys.
Yeah.
That's a good,
That was really good.
session.
Man, right in the
Yeah.
feels.
Thank
I
you.
remember
I cannot remember the name of your Twitch stream. I'll have it written down next time. But Kelly's friend Jeff from work, who runs a Destiny Twitch stream, has also begun to host our channel as well.
Oh yeah!
So now we have 2 hosts.
I don't like Discord, I swear.
Perfect. Along
who is
with
that?
Luke
Who
Die
is-
Repeat. What was Jeff's name?
Jeff
Yep.
Vincent.
Jeff Vincent is hosting us. I'll get his channel name for next time. And the podcasts are updated. The next episode is out, so Kelly and Becca's characters are now in the group with what I named it.
Score.
The episode was Fort Fun Time.
Oh my goodness.
The episode, I think it's 4, is out now. And till next Thursday, thanks for watching us play Dungeons and Dragons. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.